Hey, Daniel.
Good morning.
Good morning. So to those who don't know, I have been the acting policy and advocacy director, since June of last year. And Daniel Bowes, formerly of the North Carolina Justice Center, starts as my boss on Monday. But we had the pleasure of working together for, I don't know when, Daniel, since 2017, I would say. And we deepened our relationship over 58 days at a vigil outside of—
Too deep, yeah.
outside of Governor Cooper's house. Daniel, tell for the folks, why was this vigil important for us to do?
Yeah, I mean, as was mentioned earlier, very early on, sort of the inevitable catastrophic nature of COVID in prisons and jails was evident. And so, it was already running through Rikers in March of 2020. And so we very forcefully approached all the systems actors to ask them what they were going to do to protect people in prison, and got no response. And so that's where you saw sort of a continual escalation. And beyond the litigation, it really was getting, to put it sort of bluntly, getting up in Governor Cooper's face and staying there, both to uplift the inhumanity of mass incarceration. We're out of 225 countries, we by far have the worst rate of incarceration. Out of the 11 million people who are today incarcerated, 2 million are in the United States. And so, it really is to sort of shake off just how, whether Democrats or Republicans, there's too much comfort with what it means to take custody of somebody's body and then to put them in a cage. And so it was meant to be a very public display, calling out people who generally think of themselves as doing the right thing.
True. And y'all, we had, there was a lot over 58 days. I think I'm still recovering, Daniel. How about you? We were outside in the cold, in the rain. We were harassed by Capitol Police. You'll see it in the documentary. Dustin, we're gonna go ahead and let you start playing it so people can see for themselves the work that we put into this.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and share that and let me know if there are any problems.
This country was founded on folks who were seeking relief from tyranny. But yet we've become so comfortable with it in our own country. If you think that locking people in cages is not tyranny, then you need to leave and get in your car right now. People do not deserve, no matter what they've done, to be subjected to state-sanctioned violence, especially at the hands of those who are put in places to protect and to serve us.
We stand vigil in some solidarity with more than 30,000 mostly Black people currently incarcerated in state prisons across North Carolina.
We know that this criminal legal system is racist and unjust.
People are dying, and their sentences are not death sentences, but they're dying inside of DPS custody due to COVID.
I don't think that people understand the abject terror that people who are incarcerated and their families, their friends, their loved ones are feeling right now.
Imagine how it is while you're in a cage incarcerated. So it's 10 times worse. They don't have adequate supplies to fight COVID-19. There's no social distancing because they're stacked on top of each other.
It requires that governors use their powers of clemency and pardoning to provide that relief. I had been advocating for clemency and pardons from Governor Cooper for several years. And he is the one person that can provide them instant relief. Our protest of that abuse is a 58-day vigil in front of Governor Cooper's home.
Hey everybody. Here in about 4 minutes, the Second Chance Act will be signed into law. This is a historic, momentous day. We have worked for many years to bring this law to fruition.
Yeah, I'll be glad to get started. And I want to welcome everybody to the signing of this important piece of legislation. There are a lot of people here have worked hard on this for years.
You all have just increased the humanity of millions of North Carolinians living with the scourge of a criminal record and its impact.
And this is just one step, but I'm proud to sign this bill now.
Finally, we got it across the finish line. And he was telling us how much he understood and cared about second chances and believed in the humanity of formerly incarcerated folks. And now when it comes to those of us who are currently incarcerated, he has done nothing to address the cruel and inhumane conditions inside of North Carolina prisons, especially in the midst of a pandemic. And so we are sitting outside his mansion, asking, demanding, requiring that he live up to his promises.
The Vigil for Freedom and Racial Justice is a 58-day vigil outside of the governor's mansion, 7 days a week. It's sunrise to sunset. We're not against him, but we want him to know that we need for him to do more than what he's been doing.
We're also remembering the folks that we've already lost, whose demands and cries went unheard.
Some people go to prison because they don't have enough money to pay a fee, or some people may go to prison because they, they may wrote a bad check. So you mean feel that person deserves to pay for it the rest of their life?
I mean, like, how do you walk away from these people that need our help? They're dying in there, and nobody cares.
We've deepened our relationships. We've met people who have said their support, who have said they don't support.
We sat out here one day, it was raining so bad I thought we were gonna get swept away. I swear to God, I was scared to death.
Pardon people, not turkeys.
We know that the system has been stacked against Black, brown, and poor people for many years. We are not looking to recreate the conditions of incarceration for folks. We are looking to dismantle and abolish that system. The mass incarceration of Black, brown, and poor people must end. The mass relief that we seek and that we need lies solely with Governor Cooper.
Hi, everybody. I'm Governor Roy Cooper.
And I'm First Lady Kristen Cooper. We know the holiday season isn't complete without the annual Capitol tree lighting.
Now let's light this tree. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Day 40 of the Vigil for Freedom and Racial Justice. I just want to continue to lift up the plight, the injustice of Randolph Wilson, who, like many people in prison, are there for excessive, extended sentences, and his family is desperate to get him home. And I just want to hear from Jeremiah, and I'll edit this, Jeremiah.
He received 2 life sentences, consecutive life sentences, plus 30 years.
That's my brother, and I mean, it's just sad that, we've been apart so long. I mean, we are all we have, All I can do is pray. Just pray that I can get him back if the pandemic don't take him.
Yeah.
In 1891, this beautiful mansion was built by people that were incarcerated in the prison system. And to this day, people who are incarcerated in the prison system work at this mansion. So not a lot has changed since 1891, and we're in 2020 now. But these are some of the names of the people who helped build this mansion, who were incarcerated. The state Capitol Police say that we can't stand on these bricks for any length of time. To be told that you can't stand on it with a sign, that's very problematic for me, because some of these folks up here might be my ancestors who laid these bricks. People care more about bricks than they do people.
A lot of us made promises to the people on the inside that we wouldn't forget them. And this is showing them that we didn't forget you. I ended up here because I spent time in a cage, and I know what it feels like to feel forgotten. This is a movement that is born out of, again, our own pain and experiences, and that is what drives us.
You know, I wish, someone would have came and rescued me when I was in jail, and, no one was there. So I always had this vision of being that person. And so that's why I do all that I do, is because I want to be able to make a change.
You know the greatest thing that get me, man? When you got kids walking around saying they hate their dads. How their dad was 17 years old when they made a mistake, but for the rest of their life they convicted of it. And so now you hate your dad, but you only know what your dad's pain is. And so that's where I fight. I'm able to sit in this seat because of being a voice for those that may not have this opportunity.
All I always remember when I was in prison was every day that I used to wake up because I just think it was a nightmare. I just know that it was important for me to figure out a way that I could try to do something with my life. I was trying to make a walkway so that other people can try to get out of it too. We informally incarcerated people are the experts on incarceration. We are the solutions to incarceration. It is our duty to help folks who are incarcerated.
It's 37 degrees and it's pouring down raining. And today is day either 43 or 44. I got here at 7 this morning. Well, actually it was maybe 6:55. But yeah, it was early.
Everything we've tried to do out here has been messed with by the police. And they told us no tents, no camping. We had little camping heaters and stuff like that. None of that.
So after that, we sat outside with umbrellas, but that really didn't help us a lot.
So what we decided was from the very beginning of this was that we were going to be like our comrades in Hong Kong who had said that their philosophy and strategy was to be like water. And so that's what we've tried to do. That's why we're sitting here in our cars.
I have a choice to be out here, not be out here. People who are incarcerated don't have a choice. I choose to endure and go through because I want to stand in that gap for them and let them know that we see you, we love you. Do not forget our people who are incarcerated.
Because I just got off the phone with Governor Cooper's office, who called me
I got some good news, y'all. I got some good news, y'all. People coming home, y'all. There's only 5. So by no means are we done. We got the first of what we know is going to be many people are gonna come home.
I'm so excited. I mean, it's a small step, but it's a monumental step for a governor who has not done any pardons up until today, the 44th day of the vigil. That's a small step. But we're still gonna be out here till January the 1st, but we're gonna celebrate.
It's cold out here. I got mine with me, so. Yes. And a blanket. It'll be cold out here. Look at Daniel. Look at Santa Claus.
Excited to be here, but you know we're going to Johnson Correctional today because we got to get the news out, because you got to think about them being locked back and locked down. They don't have access to news, so they don't know what Judge Rozier has said. So we're going to give them a little bit of good news today, just a little bit, because you know where they at is so sad.
NAACP versus Cooper. Cooper's losing. People calling him out for inaction, dereliction, whatever you want to call it, leaving 30,000 mostly black people behind a wall, you know, while a deadly virus is picking them off one by one.
What we've just seen is a very violent response. The lack of response is the violence, right? Because people need to know what's going to happen to them.
Well, glad to be on another prison solidarity drive with y'all, and y'all ready to get going?
Yeah, let's go.
With Lynn, you know, the constant hero.
Okay. All right, y'all. We're on our way to this. We're almost at this prison. Are they out here? Okay, yeah, I'm trying to record with the camera. Free them all, brother. We see you, brother. We love you, brother. We free our brother. Free our people. Let our people go. Let our people go. For $13 an hour, you gonna hold people captive in the midst of a pandemic? For $13 an hour, it's worth to sell your people out like that? That's worth that? You think you somebody because you got control over the incarcerated people? You haven't done anything that you can do to make sure those people or yourself stay safe. You are a slave to the state. Free them all, brother. We see you, brother. We love you, brother. We free our brothers. Free our people. Let our people go. Let our people go. Hear ye to all who it may concern. Judge Vincent Rozier has declared that the conditions of incarceration are inhumane and cruel. Free our brothers and our sisters. Free them all. We don't care, sir. You can call whatever radio you need to call and do whatever you need to do. Your authority is only on the side over there. Free them all. We love you, brothers. We see you. We love you. Free them all. Oh, he is mad. He is big mad. We got a big mad, y'all. The vigil is never over. Until North Carolina jails and prisons are empty, we will always stand in vigil with our incarcerated brothers and sisters.
We're asking Governor Cooper to act within his power, to show us that when he said Black Lives Matter on May 31st, show us that Black Lives Matter. We will never forget what has been done to us and to our people, and we will always stand in solidarity with our Black, queer, trans family members who are the most marginalized inside of those walls. We are asking, we are demanding, let our people go.
Wow, that is truly impactful work. And if it didn't bring tears to your eyes, I don't know what to say. It's hard to think about the ACLU and our work and anything more fundamental to that work and our mission than fighting for freedom and liberation for people. So thank you, Christy and Daniel, really appreciate that. Thanks everyone for attending today. Before we go, I know we heard from a lot of staff members. I just want to make sure that we recognize the contributions of all of our staff. There are a lot of folks who do work behind the scenes that we don't see every day on the administrative or financial or operations side. Those include Stephanie Palazzo, Chantel Stevens, our executive director, Jacqueline Cheney, Anna Kachagova. They do a lot of work that we don't really see often and associate with the work, but it's instrumental to what we do. Also, we heard from Liz and Alicia in the development side, helping make sure that we are effective, keeping our organization sustained financially. On the legal team, I know we heard from Arena, a senior staff attorney, but Christy Gronke is the legal director, M. Harwell, Leah King, Jackie Maffatori, Dan Siegel, are also attorneys on that team. Sorry, I'm just going to our list, make sure I don't miss anyone. Aside from the attorneys on our legal team, Michael and Alicia Gathers are paralegals that are super helpful are vital to making sure that our cases run smoothly, things get filed, things get done. It's a very important role there. We also we saw Angaza earlier as our field director. We heard from Liz Barber, Stefania Arteaga. We heard from Ann Webb and Christy Puckett-Williams. That's our policy team. We saw Daniel Bowes, who will be joining as our new director of policy and advocacy starting next Monday. I think that is our full staff at the moment. Again, I'm Dustin Chickerell Baird. I am the communications director. It's a wonderful privilege to work for the ACLU, but our work is made possible not only by our staff, but our members, our donors, people who sustain the organization. So if you haven't yet, please join or renew your membership today. You can go to acluofnorthcarolina.org/join to find out how to make contributions, donations, join your membership. And we really appreciate you being here. So thank you. And like Chantel said earlier, hopefully next year, 2022, our annual meeting will be in person and we'll get to see you again. Thanks, everyone.